sudden gesture that froze the room. Mr. Lee's unanticipated move in front of Jin at Gucci the Tiger sparks global speculation. The moment Mr. Lee stepped forward and made that abrupt gesture directly in front of Jin at Gucci's The Tiger showcase, the entire room fell into a stunned silence. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't even hinted at in the pre-event briefings. Yet it happened, unfolding with such precision and timing that it immediately triggered a cascade of questions across fashion circles, entertainment media, and fan communities worldwide. What exactly did Mr. Lee intend to convey? Was this a spontaneous act of admiration, a coded message, or a strategic maneuver embedded within the high-stakes theater of global fashion diplomacy? The incident occurred during the Spring-Summer 2026 presentation of Gucci's The Tiger collection at Milan Fashion Week, a stage already saturated with symbolism, legacy, and power. Jin, the globally recognized member of BTS and widely regarded as Gucci royalty due to his long-standing affiliation with the brand, was seated front row among a constellation of elite figures. His presence alone had elevated the event's visibility, but it was Mr. Lee's unexpected action, executed with surgical precision and directed solely at Jin, that shifted the narrative entirely. Observers described the gesture as deliberate yet enigmatic. Mr. Lee, known for his calculated public appearances and reserved demeanor, broke protocol by stepping into Jin's direct line of sight and performing a subtle but unmistakable bow, followed by a brief hand movement that resembled a symbolic offering. No words were exchanged. No smiles were shared. The tension was palpable. Jin's reaction, captured in high definition by dozens of cameras, was equally cryptic. A momentary pause, a flicker of recognition, and then a composed return to his neutral expression. The ambiguity of his response only deepened the mystery. Was this a gesture of deference? A signal of alliance? Or a veiled challenge? The timing of the gesture, precisely as the lights dimmed for the premiere of Gucci's short film, The Tiger, has led analysts to speculate that the move was choreographed to coincide with a thematic shift in the brand's messaging. The Tiger, directed by Spike Jonze and Helena Rain, explores themes of legacy, power, and familial tension within the fictional Gucci dynasty. The film's narrative, centered around Barbara Gucci and her inner circle, mirrors the real-world dynamics of influence and succession within the fashion industry. Could Mr. Lee's gesture have been a live-action echo of the film's subtext? Further complicating the interpretation is Jin's elevated status within Gucci's global strategy. Since being named a brand ambassador in 2024, Jin has not only fronted campaigns but also influenced design language and cultural positioning. His presence at The Tiger was not merely ceremonial, it was strategic. To make such a gesture in front of him, at that moment, in that venue, suggests a level of intentionality that cannot be dismissed as coincidence. International media outlets have begun dissecting the footage frame by frame. Fashion critics are parsing Mr. Lee's body language, while K-pop analysts are examining Jin's micro-expressions. Some argue that the gesture was a sign of respect, possibly acknowledging Jin's dominance in the cultural sphere. Others suggest it was a provocation, a subtle assertion of Mr. Lee's own influence within the Gucci ecosystem. Still others believe it was a symbolic handover, a moment of transition from one era to another. The lack of official commentary has only fueled speculation. Without confirmation, the public is left to interpret the moment through the lens of existing narratives. Was Mr. Lee representing a faction within Gucci seeking to recalibrate its Asian market strategy? Was he signaling a forthcoming collaboration between his enterprise and Jin's brand? Or was this a personal gesture, rooted in admiration or rivalry? Jin's composed demeanor throughout the event has added another layer of intrigue. Known for his ability to maintain poise under pressure, Jin neither acknowledged nor dismissed the gesture publicly. His silence has been interpreted variously as strategic restraint, quiet endorsement, or subtle rejection. The ambiguity of his response has allowed multiple interpretations to flourish, each supported by fragments of visual evidence and contextual inference. The choice of venue, Palazzo Mezzanot, a site historically associated with financial power and elite gatherings, further amplifies the moment's significance. Gucci's decision to unveil the tiger in such a setting was already seen as a statement of intent. To have this gesture occur within that context suggests a convergence of fashion, finance, and cultural diplomacy. Mr. Lee's move, therefore, cannot be viewed in isolation. It is part of a larger tableau, one that blends performance with messaging, symbolism with strategy. Social media erupted within minutes. ARMY, BTS's global fanbase, launched into speculative threads, analyzing the gesture's meaning and its implications for Jin's future collaborations. Some interpreted it as a sign of impending partnership, possibly involving Gucci's expansion into new markets. Others feared it signaled internal tensions, a power play that could disrupt existing alliances. The absence of clarification has left fans oscillating between excitement and anxiety. Fashion insiders have begun referencing the moment as the Milan gesture, a term that encapsulates its ambiguity and impact. Already, it is being compared to other iconic moments in fashion history: Anna Wintour's silent nods, Karl Lagerfeld's cryptic sketches, and Tom Ford's unspoken provocations. Mr. Lee's gesture, though brief, has entered the lexicon of fashion symbolism, its meaning debated but its significance undeniable. The broader question remains: why now? Why did Mr. Lee choose this moment, this venue, and this audience to make his move? Was it a response to shifting dynamics within Gucci's leadership? A reaction to Jin's growing influence? Or a calculated insertion into the global conversation on cultural capital? Some analysts point to recent shifts in Gucci's branding strategy, which has increasingly embraced Asian aesthetics and narratives. Jin's appointment as ambassador was a clear nod to this trend. Mr. Lee's gesture, then, could be interpreted as an attempt to align with or challenge that trajectory. By making his move in front of Jin, he positioned himself within the same orbit, inviting comparison, collaboration, or confrontation. Others suggest a deeper layer of meaning. The tiger, in many Asian cultures, symbolizes power, courage, and transformation. Gucci's choice of the tiger as a thematic anchor may have been more than aesthetic. It could represent a shift in the brand's internal philosophy, a move toward boldness, unpredictability, and reinvention. Mr. Lee's gesture, in this reading, becomes a live enactment of that ethos. Sudden, bold, and transformative, the implications for Jin are equally profound. As a figure who straddles music, fashion, and global influence, Jin's response, or lack thereof, will shape perceptions for months to come. If he embraces the gesture, it could signal a new alliance, one that redefines Gucci's cultural positioning. If he distances himself,